I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something, I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black.
Not black?
That she
Not
put
black.
out. And I'll say that. And then I read that she was black. And that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
He just wants to know how to racially assault her.
Yeah.
Do you want hot sauce or curry? Tell me.
Yes.
Which one is it? Which one?
Yes.
Which one am I coming at you?
Which
today?
one are you putting on your cat? Are you putting?
Oh shit!
Are you putting hot sauce
Wow.
or curry on your cat?
Curry cat sounds crazy. Curry cat is crazy.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
You set me up for that. I'm just saying.
I did, yeah. I threw the alley-oop, man.
But again, I mean, any comment on
Kamala's curry cat?
I thought her response to that was fire.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Listing all of the ways
Yes.
that Trump has disparaged black people.
Yes.
Not even just as a president, but as a business owner.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And how like it kind of painted this picture of like he doesn't want to acknowledge my blackness because he never wanted to acknowledge and respect black people to begin with.
Absolutely. Yes, I wanted to try to find that clip because she actually pulled up the Central Park 5.
Yeah.
She kind of pulled up all of those
like receipts.
Yes, all of those things in Donald Trump's face. And again, like Donald Trump's response was, "Oh, that happened a long time ago," but it's like, so what, bro?
But I think it also was like it happened a long time ago and I'm no longer that person, or I have evolved in this. So this is the thing, you could tell he was not taking this as seriously as he should have.
Yeah.
Because a seasoned person would have been like, as your friend said, I free more black people, since, slavery through my First Step Act. So even though you say I did these bad things, here's how I've evolved as a president or as a leader. He couldn't even think about that because he's not running as an actual candidate who's trying to look on policies. He's running, as she said, to take care of himself. When you're running to like enrich your own pockets and boost and assuage your own ego, you kind of forget that you have to talk to the people that you want to vote for you.
And that was an observation that I had made because the way he was responding to a lot of the platforms that Kamala was assaulting him on with foreign policy, just a myriad of things, it was very evident that he doesn't know how the presidency works. Like he's there just responding to shit in a way that like a pundit would respond or like a TV personality would respond.
Yes.
And with actually no substance attached to it whatsoever. And it made me question the wherewithal he has and the knowledge of actual execution of executive orders, and the responsibility of the office, and as Miracle said, not just as an opportunity to get another $400K a year put into your pocket, for in perpetuity, but you have so much responsibility when you assume presidency of the United States of America that it doesn't seem that Donald Trump understands how to wield.
I mean, I don't think he cares. I mean, I think
that
that was one of the points that she kept making over and over again was like, yo, this guy only cares about himself.
Right.
Like Donald Trump only cares about himself. He doesn't care about you. Did you want to play that clip where she came with the receipts, the black receipts?
I think honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race. And let's remember,
it's a very all lives matter response.
How Donald Trump started. He was land. He owned land. He owned buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember, this is the same individual who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5. Took out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This is the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States.
She came with the receipts.
That's a fact.
And I think the American people want better than that.
It's kind of, to me, when I think of the debate, the moments that resonated with me were like, and again, I wasn't sure how Kamala was going to do.
She did
a really, really good job when she talked about like, yo, go to one of this man's rallies.
Yeah,
it's like,
no, I mean,
yo, go to this man's rally. He talking about Hannibal Lecter. People are leaving. Like, I felt like she brought up January 6th,
right, and
in a very strong way. Like, yo, they beat this many police officers. Police officers died. He led the charge on that. She talked about, yo, here's your generals. They're saying basically you're a disgrace. World leaders are laughing at you. Like, she really kind of came for his neck. I mean, she was smiling and respectful, but she really came at a level of like, and again, when you juxtapose this with
Pittsburgh lead in the water made her.
Oh, is that Pittsburgh? She said that Pittsburgh lead in the water.
It just made her tough as nails.
But I'm saying, when you juxtapose it with like the last debate where like 30 seconds into it, you're like, who is this man talking? What happened to this man's voice? Like, and I remember when Biden was like, you're this loser and the sucker. And
You're the loser.
Like,
You're the
like,
sucker.
Nah. Like, she really came with, so to me, like, she had the most memorable lines and moments in the debate. And to me, it got to a point where Trump just seemed to be like ranting.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like, angrily ranting.
Yeah, I mean, as Miracle said earlier, like, this was kind of like, not a typical debate because of how devalued the office has become. But we've already seen time and time again, you can't treat Donald Trump like a presidential candidate.
No.
Right? Like, you have to
He's
throw
a
out
clown.
the entire rule book, right?
Yes.
But I think what we got a glimpse into today was how Kamala operates in her previous job. Right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of got a glimpse into that, like, okay, she's with the shits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she like you said, she came at his neck. But what I thought was also super dope is that she was unrelenting. Like, she laid the attack on.
Yes.
And she was like, not only am I going to talk my shit and look fly with the,
Okay, yeah.
right?
Okay.
But I'm gonna pull all the receipts out on you.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna bait you into an argument because she
Yeah.
looked like she was luring him into shit, and she was setting gambits up for him
Yes.
that, for whatever reason, he didn't always fall for, but she made him look dumb every opportunity.
When
she
you
had to.
see him do that, like, smile, like,
Yeah,
you could tell she was like getting under this skin.
Absolutely, yeah.
And he seemed to be more like, his response was to be like, try to speak more forcefully or more angrily.
Yeah, she was just like, and she just curved that shit. She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, she did.
I will say he set her up to have the best campaign commercial because when they were talking about abortion and he was like, she can't do anything.
Oh yeah,
She doesn't have the votes.
Right.
Why would you say that?
right.
Yes.
During an election year.
Right.
Where we can get the vote?
Where you can get,
Yeah,
where
we
she
can get the
vote.
like she
Like, if I was running
on,
her
Miracle.
campaign, that would
That's
be
the
my
soundbite, yeah.
That would
Right
be
there.
that's the ad right there.
We need the votes.
Up and down the ballot. We can do all this type of stuff
Yeah.
if we have the votes.
Yeah.
If you vote
Harris.
abortion,
Harris
if
Wolf.
you vote,
Do you hear this?
election protection,
Yeah.
if you vote, student loan
I mean,
debt,
they were
all
in
types of
Pittsburgh
stuff.
prepping for the debate.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, like, you also forget debates are two things. It's you defending yourself, but it's also you making sure you do not give sound bites to hurt you.
Right.
Yeah.
So why are you, I was like, this is like, and again, I'm a political science geek.
Yeah.
I studied political science in college.
You mean a soundbite like cats and dogs are being eaten? And,
But that, like, yes, that's going to be whatever, but people are not going to take that seriously.
Yes.
But what they're going to take seriously is a call to action. You have to
Yeah.
give some, especially younger voters, you
Yeah.
have to motivate them and give them something to vote for.
right.
You have just laid out a whole campaign.
Yeah.
And you know what? You say that, they turn up, and then what do you do in January?
Even when the
Pass the legislation.
yeah.
Well, she had the votes, right? You have just made a whole year campaign.
Right.
If I'm a social media manager, that's why I pray for it.
Particularly like the down ballot
Yeah.
races that again, like he basically was saying, like, you can't just vote for a president. All of these other races are equally important because you need Congress and Senate to pass this law. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that is fascinating that he kind of gave her that.
Sir, what are you, sir? What are
I
you
also
doing?
thought when the sister
Didn't think
The sorority party was disrespectful.
that was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
She was throwing a party with some black women. Yes, one of the oldest black sororities
again,
in America.
Again, you want to get these sororities even more hype? You want them to raise more money? Like, you want them to go out and again, like, I mean, he really, so here was This is Chris Wallace. So for those that don't know, Chris Wallace
The
was
greatest
on
rapper
Fox.
of all time.
No, not
Rest in
that
peace,
Chris.
Biggie.
That's Christopher Wallace. Okay, not.
I mean, that's the only Wallace I acknowledge.
We acknowledge.
Yeah.
Chris Wallace used to be on Fox News. And so this was Chris Wallace's response, or this was his commentary about Kamala and Trump's debate performance. Can you play that?
I didn't think I was ever going to witness a debate as devastating as the one that you and Dana moderated back in June, where Joe Biden basically tanked his reelection campaign. I think tonight was just as devastating. I think that Kamala Harris pitched a shutout on almost every subject I can think of. She shut Trump down on abortion. She shut Trump down on January 6th and democracy. She shut him down on national security and turned to the former president and said, the military leaders who served with you think that you're a disgrace. And then, as Dana mentioned, very powerfully at the end, made the point that she is the candidate of change. We need to turn the page from a decade of division and polarization. On substance, I think she pitched a shutout, and I think she did on style as well.